Yes. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all. You know what? I was just reading a book today about Albert Einstein, Albert Einstein once said, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. And the other is as though everything is a miracle. Wow. Well, I doubt I'm on which side. I'm still trying to find out the answer. But have you ever wondered what the purpose of your life is? And what could probably be its right direction, a direction to your life? Imagine, oh my God. Yeah. Well, yes, we, the 43rd batch of National Child Development Council, are glad to host today's webinar. Yes, this is our first webinar going on air on FB Live, and we are so glad to host it. And thank you, Baba Alexander sir, for giving us such an opportunity. And Jyoti ma'am, Rija ma'am, and Shakila ma'am to give us such good support. And welcoming all my 43rd fairies, pretty ladies, everybody over here, and also the chief guest. Yes, Mrs. Shan. Let me also welcome each one of you. I just feel like calling you name by name, individually, because it's such a prestigious moment for us today and this evening. It's going to be New Year. This is the last day of the year. Yes, we got this opportunity on this day of this year. Aren't you really glad? I can see that gladness on many of your faces. In fact, all of your faces. Well, welcome all of you to be part of today's informative session. I'm sure we will be able to take home a lot from this as we mark the beginning of our theory sessions on child psychology. Without spending much of your time, let's start our function today, Without God's blessings, nothing is possible. And let me invite Sandhya ma'am to lead us with a prayer song.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Almighty, we thank you for the night and for the special morning light, for rest and sure and love and care, and all that makes the world so fair. Help us to do the things we should, to be to others kind and good, and all we do and in all we say, to grow more loving every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandhya ma'am. Thank you. We should thank you. Thank you so much. Well, every sunrise is God's saying of welcome. You always have a place here in this world. Like, have you just imagined that scene that I just said? Like, the sun rises every day and tells you, God is talking to you. Come on, welcome to this new world. There's a place for you. You're still alive. Yes. And here's somebody, the sunshine of our 43rd batch, trying to welcome all of us. That's none other than Annie Rishma ma'am.
Thank you, Helen ma'am. A very warm good evening to each and every one of you. Distinguished viewers, our chief guest and resource person, life coach, verified master NSC practitioner, therapist, counselor, parenting advisor, graphologist, graph therapist, transaction analyst, EFT practitioner, Enneagram coach, and certified body language trader, Mrs. Sushma Shan ma'am, our founder and master trainer of NCDC, Mr. Baba Alexander sir, our circle coordinator, Mrs. Jyoti ma'am, our evaluator, Mrs. Rija ma'am, and finally, our program coordinator comes faculty of our 43rd batch of NCDC, Mrs. Shakila ma'am, and my dear colleagues. It's a special occasion of Focus Fairy Circle organizing a webinar on the topic, Know Your Life Purpose, the Right Direction. I take this opportunity to thank NCDC and the Focus Fairy Circle who is conducting this webinar. Without taking much of your time, I would like to extend a cheerful welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Sushma Shan ma'am, and our dear Baba Alexander sir. And once again, I take this opportunity to welcome my colleagues also. First of all, I welcome the first group of 43rd batch of NCDC, Brainy Badgers. Then I welcome the second group, Dazzling Moons. Then comes our third group, Mighty Minds. And finally, our fourth group, Birds of Paradise. It is indeed a great pleasure seeing you all gathered here. After all, patience and perseverance are a couple of secrets to success. With that being said, I would like to thank you for all your patience and time. And once again, I welcome all of you to this webinar organized by Focus Fairy Circle. Welcome everyone and thank you.
Thank you, Annie ma'am.
Thank you, Annie ma'am. That was really a warm welcome. Thank you so much. And on this special occasion, I would request Sabida ma'am, one of our partners, to deliver the presidential speech.
Thank you, Helen ma'am. Good evening, one and all, distinguished viewers, our chief guest and resource person, Mrs. Sushma Shan. She is a life coach, verified master NLP practitioner, therapist, counselor, parenting advisor, graphologist, graphotherapist, transactional analyst, EFT practitioner, Enneagram coach, certified body language reader. Our founder and master trainer of NCDC, Mr. Baba Alexander sir, our circle coordinator, Mrs. Jyoti ma'am, our evaluator, Mrs. Rija ma'am, and our program coordinator, come faculty of our 43rd batch, Mrs. Shakila ma'am, and my dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It's a special occasion for Focus Fairies organizing a webinar on Know Your Life Purpose, the Right Direction. I thank NCDC for conducting a webinar on this topic. National Child Development Council is a self-governing national child welfare organization established to promote women and child welfare and assure child education in India. To promote scientific and psychologically molded child education on par with international standards and specifications, various recognized courses are being conducted for the last 53 batches under the auspices of National Child Development Council. National Child Development Council is also a participant of United Nations Global Compact, New York, and an ISO certified organization having head office at New Delhi, India. The main courses conducted by NCDC are certification in international preschool education, certification in Montessori education, diploma in international Montessori education, advanced diploma in international Montessori education, postgraduate diploma in international Montessori education. I take this opportunity to invite all of you to participate in today's webinar. Thank you all.
Wow,
Yes.
well done, Sabida ma'am.
Thank you, Sabida ma'am. That was so nice of you and well explained. Thank you so much. Like I asked you in the beginning, the purpose of your life and its direction. I'm not so sure about what my life's direction is. Frankly, I'm not so sure. I'm just waiting to listen to the talk of ma'ams today. Well, really, what could it be, na? Well, we have the most eminent and the resourceful person over here today, the very special Miss Sushma Shan ma'am, to talk about this and help us with some of our queries. I'll surely come up with some queries. Please, ma'am.
You have to.
Yes.
So thank you so much. It's my pleasure that I've got this opportunity. Thanks to one and all here. You've already introduced me, but still, let me say I'm from Bangalore. I've done my master's in NLP. I'm a life coach. I'm a parental advisor. I'm a graphotherapist. I'm a EFT coach. And then also I have done my body language course as well. All right. So today's topic, as I told, it is purpose of life. So should I start saying bye to 2021 or hi to 2022? How do you think that?
It's a hi to 2020.
Hi to 2022. Short answer, I guess.
Do you all believe that there's a purpose in your life? See, I don't. Yes. Okay. See, I don't want to. I mean, we do have a discussion session at the end, I guess, but still, I would rather like to keep this active. Keep the discussion on. That will make it a little more active rather than making it boring or something like that. So that's just what I hope you all agree that there's a purpose in our life, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Finding it out is really difficult.
Well, I by end of this, I'm sure you will find it. I hope I'm sure. All right. So, see, we are all from a generation where we are all brought up. The purpose of our life is, say, finding a good job, being financially sound, getting married, having children. So you have all these things. That means your purpose of life is done. But I don't know. That's not the purpose. That's just a part of our life, right? That's just a part of our life. And again, if you ask me, being happy is the purpose of our life? No, it's much more than that, right? So do you all have a resolution this year for 2020-22? Anyone?
Yeah. Yes.
And if it's a yes, that's great. A yes means that's great. If it's a no, what is the reason? Is it because you have never stick to your resolution previous year, so you're not confident enough?
Very much correct.
Yes.
Never stick to my
True.
resolutions.
Yes.
All right. So let me start. Before I tell the direction to find our purpose, there are some important, things which we have to know. All right. So let me start with a story. Once, there was a beggar. All right. He used to beg on the same street for almost 30 years. And what happened this fine day, there was a stranger who walked through the. If you don't mind, could you just mute your mic?
हुआ क्या कह रही थी?
Can you please mute your audios?
So what happens? The beggar, he sees the stranger and tells him, like, I need something. Do you have food, or you have money or something like that? So the stranger says, I'm so sorry, actually, I don't have anything to give for you. How long have you been here? So the beggar says, I'm here for past 30 years. So the beggar says, okay, that's sad. And where are you actually sitting over? So he says, like, I'm sitting over this box. What does that matter? I mean, it's a box, a wooden box. I'm sitting for 30 years. So the beggar says, okay, you're sitting here on the box for 30 years. Have you ever bothered looking what's inside the box? I'm just shortening the story, all right, because I don't want to elaborated. So the beggar says, why does it even matter where am I sitting? As far as I'm comfortable with my seat. For the 30 years, I have never felt any problem with sitting on this box. So the stranger again says, okay, if you think there is nothing much you have to do with the box, that's up to you. But I have nothing to give you. But I would always suggest, if that is possible, just open the box and just check what is in there. Annoyed, the beggar says like, okay, well, let me just, okay, I'll just do that. And then he just stands up from the comfortable seat which he was sitting, and he opens the box. For his surprise, he sees loads of gold coins and money. So why the story is, we are all like that. We are all, comfortable with that comfort zone where we're afraid to come out of it. Unless we come out of this comfort zone, we can never find a purpose, right? If we have this fear in us, we can never come out of the comfort zone. So we should always have that courage to come out of this comfort zone. This is the first step to find your purpose. All right. So the second important thing is, another problem with our generation, or even right now, the younger generation, is we never understand what is our own worth. We always depend on someone else to validate us, to find our worth. If we do something and we don't get an appreciation, like somebody else tell that, no, we are pretty sure that we have done it very well, but still we wait for somebody else to validate us. Only then we feel accepted, right? So this is a problem with the generation now. See, it is said that if you have a strong purpose in your life, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion will drive you there. And your life without a purpose is like a journey without a destination. It just goes boring. We are always confused with what is happening in our life. So the first most important thing, and why should we know the purpose of our life, is one day in our life, we will realize that the job we are in, or the relationships we are in, or the financial background we have, had nothing to listen to our heart, made us happy, understanding ourselves, understanding the changes and accepting the changes we are having. Once we understand, love, and accept ourselves, that is the day we will realize that, yes, I have a purpose. And my purpose was never walking in the footsteps of those who came before me. You agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a paper and a pen? It would be great if you have, because see, this is just the starting. So I have few points for you to note down, which you need to follow on a regular basis to know your purpose. If you don't have, I can just give you 2 minutes. If you can just, get a paper and a pen or a pencil. You have it. That's great. All of you? Yeah. That's really great. So I hope you got my point. The first point, as I mentioned, it is you should first respect, understand, and love yourself if you want to know the purpose of your life. So point 1, note down this point. This is also an affirmation. See, to be a successful person, or to reach the place, or to reach where we have to reach, first thing is self-belief. So for this self-belief, what you have to do is keep the toxic people away. It can be your family member, it can be your relatives, it can be your friends, whoever it is. If you feel the person doesn't let you move forward, they're pulling you down, this is the first step. because we are all bound in a relationship, and we always think of pleasing people. So we don't, again, just as we don't come out of this comfort zone, just because we want to please people, we just stick around to all these things which stop us from our growth. So if we have to know our purpose, if we have to grow, we need to keep the toxic circle away. This is the first point. Second point is do what really makes you happy. Think properly. What is that makes you happy? Because most of the time what happens is we sacrifice our happiness for others. See, it's a fact that we cannot pour from an empty cup, right? We should be happy, satisfied first. If we have to support others, if we have to make others happy, we need to help them. In that case, we need to be fine. And the first step for that is, as I told, do those little things which makes you happy. At least once a week, give that small 30 minutes at least for yourself. Spending time doing those little things which you always wanted to do. It can be watching a movie, like I know 30 minutes is no movie, but something. Just sit alone, keeping away the phone, television, everything. Anything which makes you happy, relaxed. We need to unplug ourselves at times to recharge ourselves. Because being too busy, we will not have that space to do those things which we really love to do. Right? Do you agree with me? Yes.
Yes.
So this was the second point. Make sure you write down the affirmation like, I am good enough. I have a very good purpose. You know, when you write, handwriting is also called as brain writing. This is the reason I say write it down. When you write it, it becomes reality. As Miss Helen started, you know, you have to live either completely believing in miracles or no. I'm a person who believes in miracles. If you believe, of course, that would work. Your belief, your faith is very powerful. All right. So when you write down, it becomes even more powerful. So whenever you have a dream, when you realize what your purpose is, make sure you write it down. You get me? Journal. We call it journal. Journaling is not like just writing diary, you know, writing diary is different from journal. Journaling is very powerful. Like before you go to bed, write down in present tense what your dream is. Write down within this year, I am going to achieve this. These are all the basic steps to reach your purpose. Get me? Then check on the other thing, like these are all the steps for you to find your purpose, but how you will find your purpose. See, there is just try to rewind yourself from your childhood, or at least from your teenage, your adolescence. There is something which you always like to do. Something, say for example, like you're irritated, you're upset with somebody or something has happened. You usually go and just sit away for some time and then do that thing what you like, right? To divert your mind. This is what usually we do. Try to recall what was that thing which you repeatedly did. That's something that can lead you to your purpose. That is the first point. Okay. The second point, how to find your purpose. The second point is when you do this, when you already recall what was that thing exactly you love to do, there is something which your relatives, your family members, or your friends, someone would have told you that you're really good in it. Some can be like, art, you may be drawing, or you may be, personally for me, it was like people who knows me always told me like they feel good speaking to me. Like I can convince them, I can convey a message to them easily, or when they're upset, they feel better when they talk to me. So there should be something like that, which you have also heard like repeatedly, your friends or people around you who would say that this is something really good in you. This is the second thing you need to think about. the most important way to find your purpose, the direction to your purpose, is stand in front of the mirror every day and ask yourself, if this was the last day of your life, what is that you would love to do? Repeat doing this every day, and there is one answer you would get. That answer is the one which will lead to your purpose, because you will love your purpose. That is how you will find what exactly the purpose is. Got me? And develop a circle around you who always supports you with your growth. That matters a lot. That really matters a lot. Keeping away those people who put you down and supporting and being with the people who want to put you up, who support you with your growth, is what matters. All these things will lead you to find your real purpose. Now, I have reached 2 points. One is I told you what is the reason for you to find your purpose. And the second was how to find your purpose. Before I go to the next point, is there anything you would like to ask me? Anybody? Yes, please. I think you're mute. If you can unmute yourself. I can't hear you actually.
I am not mute.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. I do support the point, what you just explained, to let go of those people who are pulling you back.
Mm-hmm.
But there are situations, like I personally have felt, like I wanted them to go out of my life, or maybe just keep some gap at least with them.
Mm-hmm.
So there are such people with everybody's lives, I know. Yeah. But there are situations that we want to let them go, but still we can't.
Yeah. See, very true. That's an exact. I understand that, and that's a part of everyone's life. See, when I say keep them away, that doesn't mean just throw them out of your life. You get me?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
they can stay in your life, but my dear, it's in your hands that how much control you want to give the person.
Correct.
You get me? It's up to you. See, if there is something on this earth which we can control, is only ourselves. Right? We cannot control anybody, not even our children, our parents, our spouse, or nobody. The only one person or the only one thing we can control is ourselves. So you can, as a person, you can decide how much influence should that person have in your life. I didn't mean influence. How much of that power do you want to give the person in your life? See, once I recently saw a video of Sadhguru in which he was asked, you never get angry. Okay. So he told, of course I get angry. Do you want me to get angry now? So the host, he just smiled, and then Sadhguru told him, the thing is, I never gave anybody that power to make me angry, sad, or any emotion, because that is mine. That is my control. You get me? So, of course, we will have many people around us who is toxic, who doesn't like seeing us grow, who doesn't like seeing us to be developed in a good way. Of course, this is very common. We don't give them importance. That never matters for us. As far as we give them importance, it is said that you cannot stop somebody from, disrespecting you, but you can always move out, right? You can always move out. You don't have to give that option to the person. So you can be in touch with the person, you can talk to them, you can be good with them, but don't give them that importance, or don't give them that power to affect your emotions.
Thank you.
Get your answer?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So anybody else? You can feel free to ask. No worries. Whatever. Don't think like, what will this question really be, has a meaning, or nothing like that. You can just ask me whatever you want. I think, who is this? Tabsi? Do you have anything? I can see a question.
No, actually the same question Helen asked, that only.
Okay.
Because
You
so
get
many
an answer, or
people.
do you still have
Okay,
any?
I got the answer. That's
You got the answer.
And-
So you believe, right? Do you believe in what I say?
Yes.
Is that possible? Yes, right?
Yes,
We
yes.
can stop giving them that much of importance in our life, right? Yeah, that's great. Okay. Now to the next point. Okay. So the finding purpose and the why you should find purpose, this is all done. So the next thing is, do you think it's over just when you find your purpose? No. Just finding your purpose is not going to, make you happy and just think that, okay, I found my purpose. Now I'm just going to leave everything and then just go move on with my purpose, No, that life doesn't work that way, right? Life never works that way. So again, there is one more thing which I would like to say. One more little story. There was a shepherd and he wanted to know, how can you always be happy? So he goes in search of this wise men to know what is the secret behind happiness, to stay happy always. I think Helen knows the story. Anyways.
I don't.
So you don't? Okay. So he goes to the wise men and he asks, the wise men ask him, like, yes, why are you here? He says, I'm here to know the secret behind happiness. The wise man says, okay, right now I'm busy. You can do one thing, just go around my castle or whatever, the palace, and just come back to me after 1 or 2 hours. I'll tell you how to be happy. And he hands him over a spoon of oil. And he says, just go around and come, but make sure you will not spill this oil. You'll not spill this oil out. So the shepherd thinks weird. Okay, fine. And he just takes the spoon with him and he goes around up and down. He goes everywhere. But his whole concentration was on the spoon of oil so that he doesn't spill the oil. And then what happens? He just, after 1.5 hours, he just roamed everywhere. He took care of the spoon and the oil so well that he didn't even spill a drop of oil. So he reaches the wise men again. So he tells, yes, I'm here. I just went around and I'm here. It's almost 2 hours. So the wise men, okay, you went around. So how did you like those beautiful paintings on the wall and the chandelier and those ceramic, the beautiful things around? Did you like them? And how about the garden? I took almost 10 years to make this garden. Did you love them? Did you like them? The shepherd was a little embarrassed and he told, well, my whole concentration was on the oil. So I didn't see any of these things. I'm sorry. So the wise man says, no, you're here in a castle and you haven't seen these things. This is such magnificent thing. You have to see them. So what happens? The shepherd says, okay, I'll come back. And he goes around again with the spoon of oil. He just goes around. He sees those beautiful paintings, those magnificent things, whatever he has, kept in his palace, castle rooms, and the garden which he mentioned. After all this, he comes back to the wise men and he says, yes, I did see. They are really beautiful. They are so nice. So the wise man asks, okay, that's really, I'm glad you liked it. But what happened to the oil in the spoon? So he just looks at the spoon and he realizes that when he was enjoying all these things around, he lost the oil in the spoon. So when you know your purpose, it's not just enough knowing your purpose. You need to learn to balance the magnificent things or the beauty around you along with the priority. The spoon of oil is your priority. Now, what is your priority is your choice. Every one of us have different choices, right? Some of you may think that your profession. Some of them may think it's a family or anything. Only when you learn to balance the spoon, the oil, and the beauty around you is when you will learn to be happy. Got me? So this is the secret of happiness, finding your purpose. So when I say purpose, I know there can be, people here who would say that I don't have anything like that. I don't know exactly what is my purpose. I haven't, I thought a lot, but I couldn't get really find what is that I really liked when I was a child, because once I like doing this, the other time I like doing that. So this is how I am. Now, how would I find my purpose? The most important thing I would want to tell to those people is we are all born with the purpose. The nature has created all that way. Finding your purpose doesn't mean that you just find that one purpose and you be in that shell like, okay, this is my purpose and I'm going to live my purpose, live my life with this. No, without your knowledge, the nature has a purpose for you, which you fulfill every single day, every single second of your life. You get me? Every single second of your life. It's not just you or me. It's even the non-living thing around us have a purpose, right? The laptop I'm using, it has a purpose, right? The pen you're using, it has a purpose, right? The same way, we all have a purpose and we are all living in it. Say, for example, you meet hundreds of people every day, right? Animals, people, whatever. One day when you're just passing through a road, you see a cat which is very thirsty, and you just go get it a cup of water. That was your purpose for that day or for that second. No, I would not say that day, because in that one day, you may have multiple purpose. Never think you're not worth. You are worth every second of your life. You cannot know what your worth is, but you are, born like that. You're made like that. Every single person is worth, and every single person have a purpose. You even if there was a stranger crying and you just give him a tissue, that is a purpose. For you, it may not matter, but for that person, it may matter throughout his life. You get me? That purposeful you are, that validity you have. You are that valid. Never ever let yourself down. That is your purpose. And why did I mention about finding your purpose? These are all the natural purpose we have. And that is how the life cycle runs. That's how the life cycle runs. So why should you find that special purpose in your life? The one which I told, looking into yourself to the mirror and, finding out what is that gift. The first story, if you remember, the treasure within us. We are all born with the treasure, and we all have that special gift within us. Why should we find that purpose? Why should we find that gift? Is to pass it over to our next generation. You should find your gift so that you can give it away to the next generation. Only then this cycle of our life can go on. You need to pass that gift to your next generation. You got me? So this is what I have the most important things to be mentioned about, the purpose of life. Why should you find your purpose of life? Now you can just ask me anything regarding this.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody?
Any questions? As it is, I conclude by telling that why you should know your purpose is to pass it over to your next generation. You can ask me anything related to this, or any concerns, as it is, like I'm from this field, so anything you want, you can just ask me. No worries.
Yes, 43rd batch.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Farha.
Yes, my dear.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. How can we difference between a toxic person and a person who really want a good from us? How can we differentiate that people?
Do you believe in yourself, my dear?
Half.
Of course, you have to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, believe in your instincts. Okay? If the person is toxic for you, your unconscious mind, your own self will give you a hint. It will tell you there is something wrong with this person. If your inner self says that, just close your eyes and believe it. If your inner sense say it of course will say, it will always give you a hint, because your unconscious mind is way more powerful than you think. If it gives you a hint, this person is not really good for you, believe in it. Just believe in it. You get me? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt? I'm sure you have such people. I mean, of course, all of us have such people around. So have you ever felt that, like it's saying something within you telling that I feel there is something, fishy with this person, or there is something wrong with this thing, this person or the relationship? Have you felt that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
I have.
That's it. That's the answer for your question.
Thank you, ma'am.
Always believe in yourself, your instincts. That means that's true. Somebody else can cheat you, somebody else can lie to you, but yourself, your inner self will never lie to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome. You're welcome.
There's one thing, just it's not a query or anything. I just wanted to share it additionally to one of our members. Actually, she's part of this meeting today. CG ma'am, I'm sorry to call out your name if you felt bad or anything, but still, it's for good. It's for good. It's for your good. I've seen that many a times she feels a little aloof with the whole group. Like, not always, many a times, but still a little aloof. And she doesn't believe in herself. Seriously, she doesn't believe in herself. She has a great talent. She is a very good artist. She is a very good performer. Still, she doesn't believe.
Okay, is she around here?
She is around. She's put her video off.
Please open
Yes.
your video.
I just want her to come out. She has to move out. She has to come out.
Yes, please. Can I see you, ma'am?
Siji ma'am.
Yes, there she is.
Yes, ma'am. Can I know? Can you introduce me yourself?
If I would introduce her, she's the one person who, I met first in our team, in our class, in our batch, and I gave her the first appreciation for her smile. The sweet smile she has. I still remember that.
What do you have to say, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope at least by you were here with my talk throughout, right? Did it help you in any ways? Do you think now you need to come out? It'll take time, yeah, but you need to work on it.
When you said believe in yourself, all the time that you came out with those stories and all, I was just thinking about this one lady.
See, you have a very powerful, strong person next to you who wants you to grow, who wants you to come out. That's one of the luckiest thing you can have, who is openly telling it. Yes?
Yes.
So is there something you would like to ask me?
No, ma'am.
She's actually overwhelmed. I know she's overwhelmed.
See, ma'am, as I mentioned, every one of us have a purpose, not one, multiple purpose. And you, especially since Helen ma'am spoke about you, she says that you're multi-talented. You are gifted. So you know what the treasure, what is inside the box. So you need to share it out. That is your purpose. You get me? All those gifts you have, you just keep it within yourself. There's no use of it, right?
Yes.
You need to let it out. You need to share it. For that, you'll have to come out. So if you think you need any kind of a support from me, please, I would just put in my, my page details in the chat box. So if in case, not just today, anybody here feel you need any kind of a support from me, from any of the, the field which I told, it can be graphology or counseling or whatever kind, please feel free to inbox me. All right. Even Siji ma'am, if you think there is something which is stopping you, which is really stopping you from all this, then please, you can inbox me and maybe I can just support you with it. Yes. But as Helen ma'am told, I would really want you to concentrate and think about how are you going to give the gift you have. Give away your gift to the coming generation. Yes? Okay. All the best. Okay, so anybody else?
Yes,
Come on,
ma'am.
batch 43, and so many viewers also there.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
come on, Tapsima.
Ma'am, I'm Tapsi. Tapsi.
Yes, dear.
I'm a mother of 3. My name is Tapsi.
Okay.
Yes, I'm having 3 kids. One teenager, then one toddler, then one small one, infant. So some days I feel so exhausted because my small one was always crying and doing tantrums and all. So I don't know, some days I feel so distracted and exhausted. That time you said we can go somewhere and enjoy me time. I'm not getting that time.
Okay. Okay, my dear. I have shared my page down there in the chat box. Okay. You can just go there and check. I have done videos and I have many topics over the same problem. Okay. Anyway, since you've asked me this question, I would tell you, I know it is very difficult. I understand, totally understand it is how pressurizing the situation would be for you to manage all these 3 children. Yeah. But my
now
dear,
I'm sitting middle of them and they are making this noise. That's why I can't talk properly.
No, that's okay. See, this is a part of our life, right? And this is something, as a mother, we are privileged, right? So, but my dear, you will feel better. See, some days when your baby is sleeping and your other kids are a little bit big enough, make sure you try to that you relax a little. And anytime when your baby is sleeping or something like that, just listen. You just listen to some music which you like. And when I say music, it's not something, the latest music, but there are musics which you enjoyed during your teenage time. That's how our brain works. You get me? That will see, my dear, like everything works on chemicals. All right. When you do this, when you recall the old memories, that will change the complete chemical pattern in your brain, for which you will start feeling better. Certain things are unavoidable. See, you're having a little baby. I know. I do have a child of 3 years old. Okay. So I told my husband, please take him and go. I have a class. So I totally understand. So I totally, these are things which we can never avoid.
Yeah.
So, but my dear, just some time, when he's not, when your toddler is not, annoying you, or he is in a good mood, just try to just put him some any good cartoon movie, or any videos, educational
Yeah,
videos.
that is also a problem, ma'am. We are going because of that we are giving mobile or cartoons and all.
See,
Then
it's the same idea. I'll tell you one thing. I myself was also a person who used to you who always told that never give mobile phones, or never let your children, watch TV or do that, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
But, there is something which we should realize, that we can't compare our little kids with our generation. Our parents didn't have this. Our parents could, what our parents used to do, they used to take us out, and they used to tell, okay, watch the the cow jumping out there, or the dog barking, and that's how they used to divert our attentions. But this is not that time. There is a change. So as the time changes, we need to change, but that doesn't, see, it's always under your control. How much of the time you need to give your child? I mean, how much time your child should be allowed to watch television? Television or phone. I would not suggest phone, because the radiation is more and things like that. So I would not. But television is of course okay. But you should know the limited time.
time control.
You should not let your child get addicted towards it, and do not put it whenever your child wants it. There is a time frame you can give. In a day, maybe
Yes,
maximum 1
second
hour.
one will obey that, but the last one never.
He is too small. He's
Yeah,
too
that's
small.
right.
And this is also that unfortunate situation which we should understand, the COVID and things like that. We are all stuck at home. The kids are also, they also have emotions just like us. Right. So I think respecting that, you can do it, my dear, but just see to it that your child doesn't get addicted, and make sure what kind of a video your child watches. This is the priority. So limiting that, when your child is watching, just go take a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you like. Take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Finish the cup of coffee. That itself will change your mood. Okay, just give the short breaks for you once a while. And as it is, my dear, the main problem is not the children. We assume it is our toddlers or our children. Where the main problem is, we get annoyed seeing a house dirty, seeing the laundry basket full. That is what, oh my God, my laundry basket is full. I need to wash them. Look at my sink, my the vessels. I mean, I haven't washed them. Look at the floor.
Yeah,
All
looking at
these
this
things.
house, we will get mad.
That's okay. All these things will wait. All these things can wait. All right. Your laundry basket is not going to call you and ask, say, why didn't you clean me up? Please clean me. No, they don't. But if you don't give time for yourself, what happens? Your emotional health starts telling Tabsi, please, Tabsi, please. That will affect you a lot. So let your laundry basket be there. Let those utensils be there. No problem. Take the break which is important for you. That is most important, necessary. Because you have to take care of yourself, my dear. Nobody else is going to do that for you. Right? As I told in the beginning, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Is it? So if you have to pour, you should have something in it. Okay? So make time for yourself. And again, I told you I've put my page down there. Want to inbox me, please inbox me. No worries.
Okay,
Thank you so
thank
much,
you, ma'am.
You're
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Is that all? With that said, yes, I hope that's it from 43rd batch and all the others over here present. Well, with that said, let me just quote some things that I just learned. Know who you are.
That's great. I wish if all of you could say that. I'm glad you have it.
Okay, well, it's know who you are. Seriously, like, know what you really want. Know where you want to be. All this is really important. Like, it's like validating. Like ma'am said, it's validation. It's a kind of validation. Like, Are you in a place where you really want to be? That's a big question, you know. Like when I look from here, I can see Farha ma'am in her bedroom or whichever room it is. I can see a shelf over there. She has arranged all the shelves. Just look at it, and it's all neat. I shouldn't say that it's not neat. It's all neat. And just have a minute to yourself. I'm sorry to take your example, okay, if you feel it bad. You are whom I see over here in front. That's all. Anyways, just think back and just think, like, was it right to be in this room today, to attend this meeting today? Was it right? Just think. If it's right, okay, fine. That's okay. But still, if there was someone else who's standing in the kitchen, maybe there is somebody, I don't know. But if there is someone else standing in the kitchen and listening to the class today, just think, was it right? But if the same question is asked to me, I would say it's not right, because when a class is going on, whether official or unofficial, it's something for our good. So give it some time, give some time to sit down and listen and not do something else. So I would, like, according to me, it's just sit down somewhere and anywhere, wherever you're comfortable, just sit down somewhere and listen to whatever is happening and try to take something home. No? Well, this is what I take home. Understanding the changes, you know, like there are certain situations, like, you know, that this is not right, and you will have to try to understand what all changes are to be done. Make small changes and then analyze again. What has the changes done to you again? I'm telling you, believe in yourself. Siji ma'am example, okay? And keep yourself happy. Recall your hobbies, you know, like ma'am said, think of what all you have done in your teenagers and or maybe your best times. Maybe today is your best day. So think what you did today. So yeah, like the spoon of oil, you know, you should know to balance. You should know to balance everything. Let go of what has to go and keep what has to be there. And this is what I learned today. Thank you, ma'am. I hope that will mark the thanks.
That's great. Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Anyone else?
Shakila ma'am, please.
I think Sabida ma'am, Siji ma'am, I think waiting. Yes. And any viewers, no? So many attending the webinar. We can come up.
Yes, please.
We
Yes,
have
please.
got a golden opportunity. Yes.
Ma'am, I'm Sabida.
Everyone want to live a stress-free life, no? Is it Sushma ma'am?
Of course.
Sabida ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
How to
Sabida ma'am,
overcome
come
our
on, ma'am.
negative thoughts.
Sorry, my dear.
How to overcome our negative thoughts.
Again, the same answer which I had told Farha ma'am. That is, if you can control something, it's just you. It's your thoughts. Okay. You know, we all have self-talks. You understand self-talks, right? So next time, how to avoid the negative thought is just like you get a positive thought, just like you get a negative thought. Whenever you get a negative thought, tell yourself that no, this is not right. And put the opposite of it, the positive part of it. Start doing the same procedure each time you get a negative thought. You get me? So now, for example, you okay, can you give an example, like what kind of a negative one example? It would be better you tell me rather than I tell you. Just tell me. You don't have to tell me anything of your personal, but you can just tell me like what kind of a negative thought.
Unmute, ma'am. Sabita ma'am, please unmute.
If you're thinking like, okay, this person doesn't like me, okay, if that is a negative thought you're having, is it something like that, like this person doesn't like me or something, start putting in points like, not everyone should like me. I know what I am. Even I don't like many people. So what's wrong in that? If the person doesn't like me, it's his or her choice. You get me? Or you can also think that, or I'm just assuming the person doesn't like me. Maybe the person has his own problem. You know, everyone have their own struggles, right? What happens is we always see the other person from our shoes. Like, okay, I think this person, we just look at someone, see someone, and he's like a bit upset, or you don't feel he doesn't talk to you properly, he or she, whoever doesn't talk to you, you start thinking, okay, she's not talking to me because she doesn't like me. But why don't you start thinking that, oh my God, what would be her problem? Maybe she's into some issues. That's the reason she's not talking to me. Maybe she's upset with something, right? Understanding that every single person are going through a struggle. This is one main problem with we people, we always wait for a name tag. When a person does something wrong, we just jump in and start judging the person like, okay, this person is not good, this person is doing blah blah blah. But later on, when we know that, I think that, see, again, if I have enough of time, there is a small story again which I said, I just remembered one incident. This was all throughout FB and everywhere, so most of you might be knowing the story. There was a father with 3 children in the railway station. All right. So the kids, all the 3 children, like it was like 9, 8, and 5-year-old kids. So these kids were just jumping over there, here, and they were just, the people over there started getting irritated for the kids' behavior. And the father was, just silent. He was not stopping the children from being whatever they were. So people started like getting irritated and annoyed, like what kind of a father is he? Look at those children, like they're misbehaving and he's not stopping him from that and all these things. They waited for like half an hour, more than that, and then still it came on, the same thing continued. And the one among those passengers, they just came over to this person and asked, like, what are you doing? Can you just see? Look at your children. What are they doing? They're just running around, jumping around, and they're doing nothing there. And you are not, telling them to stop or think. So he just looked at him and told, I'm sorry about that. But right now, I cannot stop them because we just came from a hospital. They lost their mother now. Okay? They came seeing their mom dead, or he saw his wife dead, and he's going back home. When people got to know that, they all felt like, oh no, we should not have done this. And they started playing with the children, and they started, because that is such a horrible situation. I hope Sabita ma'am got my point. So many times we are in a perception that person, the negative thoughts we created by ourselves, that may not be the reality. Okay. So whenever you get a negative thought, always give that positive thought with it. You yourself start thinking, no, I am thinking it negative. It can be like this. When you gradually start giving those positive self-talks, slowly your negative thoughts will go. You need to practice more of affirmations and positive thoughts. Get me?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Anything you can ask me if you still have a doubt, no worries. And if it's something you need to ask me personally, as I mentioned, it is there I have put my page there, so you can send me a message as well, because I know not everything can be told in a firm like this, but that's okay. You can message me. And as it is, the main problem with we Asians, or we people are, we have a headache. We understand, okay, we have a headache and we just go to a physician, even though we know the reason of that headache. But when it comes to an emotional problem, we hesitate to talk to somebody or go to someone thinking that, okay, we are going to be labeled as this and this. That is a stigma, that is a myth, which we should remove it, so that our next generation will be ready to go out and speak. You need to speak out to somebody, because not a friend of yours, not a family of yours can really help you come out of any emotional thing, even it is a small thing. So stop thinking of such things. Anybody here. I'm not telling this particular to the Sabita ma'am, I'm telling this in general. So I think it's high time that we should come out of such a thought. And you have a small personal issue or small thing bothering you, just speak to someone who is expertised in that, who is professionalized in that, which will of course put you out of all these, whatever problems you have. Sabita ma'am, is there anything else? Like, are you okay with my answer, or do you expecting like anything else? You can ask me anything, doesn't matter if it's not clear.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So you got me, right? When next time you get any kind of a negative, see, I do get negative thoughts. Every one of us get negative thoughts. That's a part of us. Negativity and positive, we all have. But what we have to do is, when we get that negative thought, we just have to, try bringing in the opposite thought of it. We ourselves can start diverting it or doing something else. If that negative thought, is a real thing, something negative happened in your life. You see, our thoughts are like a chain. Okay, it keeps on hooking with each other. Unless we break that chain, it keeps on continuing. So next time you get a repeatedly same negative thought, you need to break that chain. Get me? You need to break that chain. When you break that chain, put in some other thought. Change your thought process. All right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, with that said, ladies and ladies, I can see only ladies.
Ma'am, one more question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Can we give mobile to teenagers?
Teenagers.
Yeah. My daughter is sitting near to me.
Sitting near to you.
Yes.
Making do you mind me seeing her, or she doesn't want to come on the... Can I know your name, my dear?
My name is Afrin.
Okay, so you want a mobile phone? You want a mobile phone?
No, I do have a mobile phone with me.
You have?
Yeah.
You have, okay. See, giving a mobile phone for a teenager is not a problem. Okay, because she is big enough to handle herself. But just remember that you tell her the pros and cons. There are so much out there in the world which is happening, which can put her in trouble. Many things. So she should be aware of it. She should know the limits. That's it. If she is matured enough to know her limits, then there is nothing wrong in giving her a mobile phone. Especially as I told earlier itself. Let us not think that we didn't get a mobile phone even when I was 25. We didn't have it. Our parents couldn't,
Yeah, always I'm telling this dialogue.
This is, I do tell the same dialogue to my son as well sometimes, but no. See, I think we should come out of it practically, because I think if we were in this generation, we would also have done the same, right? The other thing is, like, we should just know the limitations. We should know the rights and wrongs. We should tell our children what is right and what is wrong. Because see, it's in some way, having a mobile phone has become a need these days, going out alone, or being in, for many reasons we have. So if your daughter, make sure she knows the limits of it, and she knows the pros and cons, like what can happen. Any kind of thing, being in social media, being in any of this kind of things can create many problems. Everything has its benefits and problems. So if she's matured enough to understand that, then no problem. As a mom, I think you will know that better.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else?
Hi, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes, dear.
My name is FAIRIES.
Mhm.
Ma'am, we were discussing about the importance of setting a purpose in our life.
Mhm.
Then I want to know, is there any factors that influence to setting our purpose of life? That is childhood memories, parenting, teaching, like that.
See, that this is what I told, the 3 points. The 3 points which I asked you to write down. I don't know if you were there at that time. See, first thing is, yes, there is something which makes you happy each time you do. You never get fed up of doing that. You get me? So you just asked me painting. See, I know few people who gets worried or sad or angry or any kind of emotion. They just go take a thing and they just start painting.
Not painting, ma'am. Parenting.
Parenting. I didn't get you. Parenting, you mean the purpose?
Yeah, is parenting influences to set the purpose of life?
Very much. Of course, yes. Our children learn from us a lot. So that matters a lot. How you, even the way you talk, it's not what you tell them matters. It's what you do matters. As a parent, what you do matters a lot than what you say. See, Firuz, right? Firuz. See, my dear, it is believed in NLP or scientifically believed a person's personality is developed in the age of 0 to 7. This is the age which we completely neglect. We do all possible of things. We say all possible of things in front of those children, thinking that they don't understand anything. But unfortunately, the fact is, they are just like sponge. They just absorb everything they see and hear. So as a parent, especially being a parent of a toddler or a little child who is below 8 years, matters a lot. After 8 years, it's different. The child is got that capacity to know good, bad, or whatever, however it is. But if you have a child below 7 years old, then it matters a lot. Got me? Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
I hope we can call it a day.
Yes, someone, I heard someone.
Yes,
please.
Ma'am, one more question.
Okay.
Ma'am, how can we understand a passive-aggressive behavior in a child?
See, as I told, our children, most of the time, they become aggressive, or, because either sometimes, maybe when we shout at them, when we become aggressive, they take it from us. All right. Or you need to watch. See, I can't generally tell this because it depends on case by case. Understand? Sometimes some things can be, there can be a reason, whatever, there can be any kind of reason for that. Like maybe the child has an issue. It can be one. Okay. The other can be this because his or her parents are being aggressive in front of them. The other thing, it can be watching any certain cartoons or videos. Okay, so for this, if I have to answer you, I should really know the particular case. It depends on case by case. Okay, so only when I know the person and I see what's happening, only then I can tell, what exactly that is. But it can be most of the time, it is either the cartoons the child is watching or the, any problem at home, the child facing any kind of an aggression from any family member that influences the child. And the child starts believing, like, okay, this is the right behavior. So that depends.
Does the studies, the study or the school influence this?
Yeah, again, it No, I cannot say exactly that way. Again, as I mentioned, I should know the circumstance. I should know what's the atmosphere even happening around the child. It can happen. Maybe the child can get influenced by one of his friend in the school. He has an aggressive friend. Say now it's a play school or a school where the child sees another child who's being aggressive, all right, and things are done for him. Say, for example, what happens in the school? Now this child is very aggressive. He starts shouting, breaking things and all that. And he says, I want that color pencil. So what happens? The teacher or whoever, I'm done. Okay, take this pencil. So what happens? The other child starts seeing that, okay, the things are getting done to this child because he is being aggressive. Let me also try it that way. Maybe things will work out for me. You get me?
Yes.
So that can, of course, in that way, it can influence. So there are many factors. Even the school, of course, there are many factors. For that, which I told you, I cannot just give a general answer for this. It depends on the child. Like, the situation that way.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, with all that said, let me just take this opportunity to thank you so much, ma'am. And
I should thank you all for this. I am grateful and thankful to all of you here, especially Shakila Wahab ma'am, who considered to give me this opportunity, and thanks to all of you. It was really, really great.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm sure it was
so
a
much, dear.
fantastic
Thank you so much.
start. It was a fantastic start of our theory on psychology, child psychology. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We are starting our child psychology classes with this.
That's great. Great. I hope my page will help you with that, because I have many things related to parenting and child psychology I've put in there. I really hope that should be helpful for you all.
Yes, in between, we hope that Helen ma'am, Sushma ma'am will come for guest class, no? She will join with us in between, whenever ma'am is free.
With pleasure.
So I would like to invite Helen ma'am for an official vote of thanks.
Thank you,
Helen
ma'am. Yes, the unofficial part was done. Yes, thank you. And yes, Sushma ma'am, we are so grateful for having you today on this special occasion. Happy New Year again. And yes, we expect to see you again with us with some interesting topic to open our eyes, more than eyes, to open our minds. Yes, to give us a chance to think, to rethink actually, not just to think, to give us a chance to rethink on what we have been doing and to rebuild our minds. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was very informative. And thanks a lot, the 43rd batch. Thank you, NCDC. And thank you, all the viewers of the show. Thank you so much.
All the best to all of you, and wish you all a real happy New Year. And I hope you will all find your purpose of life.
Sure.
All right. All the best to all.
Sure.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all.